Okay, welcome to junior class registration. You are going to be juniors, hopefully. I'm Mrs. Speaker.
And I'm Mrs. Curtis.
There's Mrs. Booth, Ms. Booth, and Mr. Fergaluk is back there. Wave to him. Okay, the first thing, we want to make sure that each of you have a packet. And Mrs. Curtis is going to go through this while I hold it up for you to let you know what's in the packet.
All right, the first page is just some introductory information regarding the whole process of registration, which we're going to touch on those specifics in a little bit. The next page is the most important page. All right, if all of you could turn to the second page, it says Junior Course Request 2013-14. This is the form that you are going to fill out to register for your classes for next year. So from today until next Tuesday, you are going to be looking through the course description book and filling out this form. Okay? This form on Tuesday, all of you guys can remember that Monday we do have off. So remember on Tuesday that you're going to bring this form back and we're going to have something called Teacher Recommendation Day, in which you're going to take this form to all of your teachers each period and they're going to sign off on it. At the end of the day, you will give this to your 7th period teacher, in which that teacher will then bring it down to the guidance office. So again, this is the most important form. Make sure that you complete it entirely and you bring it back on Tuesday. So from now until Tuesday, you have plenty of time to look through the course description book and really try and figure out what courses you want to take for next year. On the back of the form is where you are going to choose your PE classes. I believe in your PE classes yesterday, they kind of talked to you a little bit about the process, but this is the form you're actually going to fill out and turn in. So you'll notice that some of the courses require teacher permission. Please have those signatures before you turn it in on next Tuesday. Okay? The next sheet is just a list of all of our courses available to students. It's just a quick glance so you can see what courses you can pick from. To get more specific information, you're going to need to go to that course description book. You'll also notice that in front of some of the courses there might be an asterisk or a little star. Okay? What that means is it is a semester class. So if you are looking at a semester course, make sure you are looking for the courses that have that asterisk in front of it. The next page is a high school 5-year planning page. This may help you figure out what types of courses you are going to take next year and the following year. So it's kind of almost like, you know, a cheat sheet of some courses you can write down if you're planning on taking Wilco your senior year, which is a 3-period block. Okay? This is kind of a way to organize it to make sure you can fit it all in your schedule. So that is a 5-year planning sheet. And then the last page is just some information on summer school dates and driver's training. And most of you probably already had driver's training. Or no, you will be having driver's training because you're taking the classroom this year. So that's some important summer school dates. Okay?
Okay, we're going to go through some more specifics about the registration process. Again, this week and over the weekend, you will be discussing this with your families. Talk to other students in classes to find out what they took, what they liked, what they didn't like. Talk to your current teachers about different classes. Then on Tuesday morning, you bring the form in, you'll have it all completed. You take it to each teacher, they will be signing off on it. The purpose of that is a lot of times the teachers have a question about something, maybe they look at something and they say, you know what, you're really struggling in this area and we think that you do better off in this level of this math class. Or vice versa, they might say you're really excelling, everything seems to come easy, I may want to recommend you for an honors class. So that's the reason the teachers sign off on it. For elective areas, the teachers sign off so that they can give you a little bit more specific information about the elective areas and make sure that you understand what you're registering for. You will turn those in at the end of the day Tuesday to your final period teacher so that we can start getting those entered into the computer. If you forget it, bring it and turn it in Wednesday. There are students who forget it on Tuesday, hang on to it for weeks and weeks, and by the time their appointment is with their counselor, we just send you away and say, we'll get to you when we're all done with registration, because we have to have that information up front before we even meet with you. From January 28th through February 22nd, all of your English teachers each have an assigned day where they're going to bring you to the maroon room. You're going to do some independent reading, and then you'll come over one at a time and meet with your counselors. And we will go through your entire transcript with you, your credits, and then we'll look at what you've signed up for, and we can make a lot of changes at that time. Do not make an individual appointment, because we're booked pretty much 1st through 7th hour every single day for that month straight. We have students coming down every single period for 7 hours straight. So you will have your own appointment with your counselor. Don't try and come in and make your own appointment. You will have until February 28th to make any changes. So it's wide open. It takes us about 5 seconds to make that change. But keep that date in mind. It's really, really important.
So if you come to us, March 6th, and say, hey, you know what, I want to change that foods class that I picked, we are unfortunately going to have to tell you no, because our staff is scheduled according to the amount of courses that you guys pick and what specific courses you pick. So please pay attention to that date. Here is a copy of the registration forms that we were talking about that you will need to fill out. One thing I want to make mention is make sure that you put the correct code down. Okay, so there's going to be a spot for you to write a code and then the name of the course. Make sure those two match. Okay? Accessing your online course description book. In the past, we have given you hard copies. This year, we are going to an online version. These are the instructions on how to access that online course description book. Okay, so you're going to go to our website, click on guidance, and then academics, and then click on the 2013-14 course descriptions.
If any of you have problems with your computer at home or don't have access to this, you can come into College Career Center and we can pull it up there for you, or go into the Media Center and pull it up for you. This is a copy of it. And a couple of things that you really need to remember about the courses. Each department does have a flow chart, which will try and make it easier for you to follow what the next course in sequence is. But the most important part of that is under the course descriptions, it will say the grade level that is eligible. So if you are going to be grade 11 next year, and it says it's only open to 9th graders, you're not eligible to take the course. Also, the prerequisites are critical. If it says that you needed the introduction course, then you cannot enroll in that course if you have not completed the introduction. It would be just like you signing up for German 4, but the prerequisite is German 1, 2, and 3. You obviously can't just jump into German 4. So pay attention to the grade levels and the prerequisites. It's so important. Everything's in paragraph form to help you, and again, we've got the website up there.
Okay, please pay close attention to your graduation requirements. They are located on page 5 of the course description book, and they will be highlighted on the next slide. There are 2 strands, the college and career, so make sure you look at which one you are following. Community service requirement, all of you have to have 40 hours of community service as part of your graduation requirement. The forms to turn in the community service are located in the registrar's office, or you can find them online as well. Here are your requirements. Okay? All of you will need to complete 4 years of English. All of you will need to complete 3 years of math, including geometry. Now, when it comes to science and social studies, for graduation requirements, you need to meet 2 credits of both of those. But if you are planning on going to college, you do need to take the next year of that, so you have 3 credits.
Okay, exploring your interests. You will have, starting next year, probably a little room to take some electives. And what we're asking you to do is to really talk to the teachers in those areas and talk to other students. So you can take foreign language, you can take cooking, you can take a business class. how to build things. It's really important though to look at those elective areas now, because what happens is by the time you are signing up for senior year classes, a lot of those classes that you really want to take have a prerequisite. So you might want to sneak in a prerequisite next year in an introductory course, so that senior year you have a lot more options open to you. So again, as you can see, there's lots of areas: art, music, cooking, parenting, building, design, architecture, engineering, foreign language. There's lots of options. This is the time to talk. You've got a full week to talk to other students, your parents, and teachers.
Okay. Again, I talked a little bit about it earlier, about your PE. Remember, the PE sheet is on the back side of your registration form. You will choose your PE classes in your actual PE class this semester. We have a wide range of different PE courses, so make sure you look at all of them. There's dance, there's outdoor adventure, there's powerlifting, so there's all different kinds of different interests of the students. Just again, make sure that you pay close attention if you need a teacher's signature. And here's a copy of that form.
PE exemptions. As a junior or senior, you do have the option of exempting out of PE and taking another class or a study hall. There are only 2 ways to exempt out of PE. One is through a coach, varsity coach, or if you can exempt out through the band director. Those are the only 2 that can sign off on those. So every year during registration, we have students come in and say, I'm exempting out of PE. We have to just keep that PE in there until we get a form signed, because we don't know if you're trying out for varsity volleyball or varsity baseball or whatever. The other thing to keep in mind, senior or students, is a lot of the varsity coaches will not sign off on those until the season's ready to begin, because they don't know who's going to be injured, they don't know who's actually trying out, you may get cut. So don't panic, we can make those changes after February 28th. We a lot of times do those at the beginning of the season. And again, you can either choose to take an elective course or you can take a study hall. There's a copy of the form there for you.
Okay, I also talked about in your packet, there's that quick reference sheet, so we won't spend too much time on that. That's the copy of it. Mid-year, never mind, we'll get that next year. Summer school. It is imperative that if you fail a course, you take it in summer school to make sure that you are remaining on the track for graduation. Some of the reasons to take summer school, again, if you failed a class, avoid graduating late, making up credits, avoid retaking the full year of math. What that means is that, let's say you are in geometry this year. You passed first semester, but second semester you failed, and you decide, you know what, I don't want to go to summer school, I'm just going to take it in my schedule next year. Well, what we will do is we will schedule you for the entire year of geometry, even though you passed the first semester. And the reason for that is because past history has shown us that if we just put a kid in for second semester, the chances of you passing that are slim compared to if we put you in for the full year, because you haven't had that material in a year, okay? So pay close attention to that. It is your responsibility to know what courses you need to take through summer school. One thing I want to mention about summer school is do not wait. If you already know what course you are going to sign up for, get your registration form in early, okay? Because there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a first come, first served basis, which means if you wait right before the school year ends and you put your registration form in, you may not get the class because it's already been filled. Okay, so that's one. The second one too is that we will cancel courses based on enrollment. So if we don't have enough students to sign up for it, the class will be canceled. So make sure you get that registration form in ASAP.
Okay, this is just about paperwork. Remember what paperwork you need to bring down. Again, that junior senior registration form is the most important. Dates, obviously. And the deadline is February 28th, don't forget that. The one other thing I want to remind you, really, this is very important. When you fill out the registration form, please, please, please print everything. The secretaries have about 3 days to enter close to 2,000 registration forms. And the big problem is a lot of times they can't even read the writing, or you will enter a code number for Spanish 1, but you really wanted ceramics 2. So they don't know what to do. So then they try and analyze it and figure out which one, or we sometimes look at the registration form for 20 minutes or half an hour trying to figure out what student it is. And a lot of times we'll just put those to the side, not even enter the information. So you'll be the last to get enrolled. So please print very clearly and make sure that your registration codes match up with your course names. Are there any general questions right now for us?
Okay, so just as a reminder, recap of our presentation, you're going to take your packet home. In that packet is the registration form. You're going to access the online course description book, and you're going to get that form filled out. You're going to bring it back to school on Tuesday. So don't forget, we're off on Monday, so don't forget. Bring it in on Tuesday. You're going to take that form to each one of your teachers all day long on Tuesday. They're going to sign off on your form, and then at the end of the day, your Period 7 teacher will collect your forms. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. The bell should be ringing here for